guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Arifah and I hope my dark circles don't scare you away too much, and hopefully you stick around for a while. So as you can tell by the title of today's video, today I'm going to be trying the Fenty Beauty Easy Drop Blurring Skin Tint. Sorry, I am reading off of some notes because that's like a long name for me to memorize and I don't have any brain cells left currently, so yes. It retails for $39 Canadian and it's a lightweight, buildable, light to medium coverage skin tint that leaves skin looking blurred and smooth in flexible shades for all. So it has light coverage, a natural finish, and it's best applied with your clean fingers apparently. So we will be testing that out. So I really wanted to make 2 videos using the skin tint and this is gonna be the first video. So today I'm not going to do any crazy like baking with setting powder or use any setting spray. I really wanted to do just a simple look with this skin tint. Basically, this is how I would truly wear this product if I was in a rush and I just wanted to leave the house looking not like a corpse like this. And then in a separate video that I'll put in the comments of this video once that video is uploaded. Does that make sense? Point is, in the second video, I will do like a full face of makeup using the skin tint. And in that video, I'll really be using it as a foundation and seeing how well it mixes with other products in my routine. But I just feel like I haven't seen many videos like the one that I'm doing right now, and that's why I wanted to film it. So I did already moisturize my skin. I used my favorite Neutrogena moisturizer. It's the Hydroboost something SPF 25. I'll put a picture of it right here. I did already moisturize using that. I'm very familiar with it and I know how it works with other foundations, other products, so I really did want to use that one today, something that I know very well. I also did my brows. I didn't do anything crazy. All I did was I used the NYX Brow Glue that was just released like last month. I'll put the link to that brow gel and everything else that's on my face today in the description of this video if you want to check out anything. I also have mascara on my top lashes. I use the new mascara by Benefit, the Magnet Extreme Lengthening Mascara. I think that's what it's called. I recently did a review on that. If you want to check it out, the link to that review will also be in the description. And now I'm gonna go in with some primer. This is a primer that I have been loving recently, and this is the Milani Chill Out Soothing Primer with oat extract plus ceramides. While this primer does claim to extend makeup wear, I feel like it does have a pretty natural finish. So I'm just going to take some just around my areas that tend to get a little oily. Even though this primer is by no means like a mattifying primer, it definitely does stop your oils from like completely ruining your makeup, and that's why I like it. So I'm just taking that in my areas that tend to get more oily, which is pretty much just my T-zone. So my forehead, my nose, the sides of my nose, and a little bit down my chin. Oh, and I also did not mention this, but I have combination skin. My skin, I don't know how to explain it, guys. In the winter, it gets like dry like a desert. But then once we start getting a little warm, like once we start going above 3 degrees Celsius, my skin just starts getting really oily right in the T-zone. But year round, on average, I would say I have combination skin. Okay, so now we can get into the skin tints, and I have to be honest, I'm very nervous. So I purchased the shade 13, and I'm sorry I could not purchase other shades to compare them like side by side. AdSense is just not pulling through like that. So like Rihanna, I'm once again asking you to please sponsor me. I mean, listen, I said this in another video, but Rihanna is half Guyanese, I'm Guyanese, so we're basically sisters. Anyways. So yes, I have shade 13, and according to Fenty's website, this shade should match people who wear shades 320 and 345 in their foundations, and I wear shade 345. So this is the only shade I found where they directly mentioned 345, so I figured it would be the closest match to me. The reason why I am a little nervous is because I follow a YouTuber here named Anushka, and she is like the best. I'll put a picture of her beautiful face right here. And my rule of thumb generally when it comes to complexion products is whatever shade she says she is, I'm usually one shade darker or like half a shade darker depending on what the brand offers. And in her review of this skin tint, which I'll also link in the description, she said that she prefers shade 14. So now I'm a little nervous. I'm thinking if I maybe should have gone with shade 14 instead of 13, but we'll see. I've never tried this on my face yet, so I don't know how it's gonna look. We're gonna experience this together. So this is what the packaging looks like. Oh my God, it's very bright. If you've never seen it before, this is what it looks like. From what I've seen in other people's review, because the packaging is kind of like a soft matte plastic, it is lighter. What am I trying to say? The bottle looks lighter than the product itself. That's what I have noticed. I'm hoping that's true because if it really is this color, like that's not gonna match me. So we'll see. Just to give you guys a little quick look at my skin, this is what my skin looks like up close. You can see that I do have like some acne scars. I do have some areas of dryness, uneven texture. Obviously, I have pretty bad dark circles. I also have some pimples that are coming up conveniently when I want to film a complexion review. Love that for me. But I didn't want to wait for my skin to look quote unquote nice because nobody's skin looks nice all the time. Unless you're Rihanna, apparently, because she always looks flawless. It does say that you are supposed to shake well. It has 32 milliliters of product in it, so that's 1.08 fluid ounces. So let's go ahead and shake her up. Interesting. So if any of you guys have tried the Rare Beauty foundation, when you shake that foundation, it sounds like there's like a ball inside moving, but I don't hear that in this one. It just sounds like liquid moving around. So this is what the applicator bottle, I don't know. This is what it looks like. It just has that little tip where you pour stuff out. It's nothing like fancy. There's no doe foot, no pump. It's just like a squirty. That's what I'm gonna call it. Maybe I shouldn't call it that. So I'm gonna put some, oh my God, what happened to my hand? I'm gonna go ahead and put some on my hand. That looks a little light. I'm gonna try and rub it in on my hand. Actually, let's see if it will cover the scar or like how well it will cover that scar. Let's just take a little bit and blend it. Oh, okay. Do you guys see how that just blended in to match my skin tone? Wait a damn minute. Oh my God. Did you see that? Because here it looks like it's not gonna match my skin tone, but once I blended it, it matched perfectly. I am very excited. Okay, so you are supposed to apply it with your hands, fingers. So let's give that a shot. I'm gonna try on one side of my face first. So I just have some on my finger and I guess I'll just apply it like a moisturizer. Okay, see, that looks like it's not gonna match my skin, but when you start rubbing, it goes in really nicely. Okay. Obviously, I do have hyperpigmentation around my mouth. Most people of color do. Because this is a skin tint, I'm not expecting it to cover that completely, so I'm not really worried if that shows through at all. I am noticing a little bit of a smell. What is that? It kind of smells like paint. Okay, maybe not paint, but it does smell like makeup. Does that make sense? Whoa, I didn't even put that much on, but I feel like you can see that this side of my face already looks more blurred compared to this side. Also, don't come for me. I never apply products with my fingers, so if my application is very bad, it's not the product's fault, it's totally my fault. Let's take a little bit on my stash. Okay, I'm gonna take some more and squirt it on my hand. Here, this is like a little close-up for you guys. I don't know if that's a lot or not. I guess we'll find out. So I'm taking a little dab here and I'm going to see how it performs on my sideburns. All right, so you can see it looks really light right now, but as I'm blending, it's matching my skin tone. Ooh, it feels really soft. Honestly, it just feels like a moisturizer. Like, I'm sure this is not how you're supposed to apply this product, but if you do apply it as a moisturizer like that, it's not disrupting anything. It looks good. All right, so it's been like 5 seconds and it looks pretty blended. Okay, I'm gonna take some and just see what happens if I put it right under my eyes. All right, I'm not sure if it's gonna pick up on camera, but it did manage to cover a little bit under my eyes. Like you can see on this side where I have no product, my under eyes look kind of reddish purple, and at least on this side that has the product, my under eyes look the same kind of tone as the rest of my face. I mean, obviously you can still see that I have dark circles. I didn't expect this to fully cover them at all, but it is covering them to an extent. Usually I get my blurring properties from a primer and not a complexion product, like not a foundation, but this by itself has blurred my skin. That's a little crazy. So here we have an initial swipe. So I already covered it a little bit, but I do have like a red cystic pimple that's coming up right here. So let's see how well this can cover it. And just so you guys know, I do have flaky skin on my nose, like I always pretty much have. It's really weird, like my nose gets oily, but it also has dry, flaky skin on it. I don't know why that happens, but my point was, if that is like showing through when I wear the skin tint, it's not the skin tint's fault. You can't really get rid of that except by moisturizing, and I did moisturize pretty well before filming, so that's just my skin. I do have, I think it's like eczema here. I don't know what that is really, but it is evening out the tone of that, which is really nice. All right, so you guys can see this redness right here that's coming from a pimple, and let's see if she can get covered up. Why am I talking so slow? Okay, it's still looking kind of pink, like the pimple, but it's definitely not as bright as it was before. I'm really liking this so far. So now again, I'm gonna take some on my sideburns. I don't know if this is how you're supposed to apply it, because I feel like I'm cheating because I'm just using my fingers as a beauty blender, which I don't know if that's correct, but listen, it's working so far. It says light to medium coverage, so maybe I can get it to be medium under my eyes and then light coverage everywhere else. So, oh my God, my nose is flaking very badly. Again, that's not the product, that's just the skin on my nose. So this is what my face is looking like with the skin tint alone. I didn't put any powder on or anything like that, just the skin tint applied with my fingers. It is looking not dewy, but it definitely looks natural. I do film with a ring light, and I feel like sometimes it makes me look more dewy than I actually am if you were to see me in real life. I like this. I feel like it just looks like my skin. Let's see, I'm gonna go up close. I hate this. Ever since I started filming with this mirror, every time I like see myself like this, I feel like that's my evil twin. So just looking up close, it looks good. I am having some flakiness right here where I had that pimple, but it's nothing major. And I think again, that is a problem with my skin and not the tint itself, but it kind of didn't stick too well to this pimple. So I'm gonna try taking a little more and just building it up here and see. I'm gonna see if that will help because I really want this bad boy covered for the day. All right, I promise you this is the last time I'm gonna pour out more product. So last time for good luck, let's try and see if I can delete that bad boy from my face. Okay, yeah, that's looking a lot better. Maybe I just didn't put enough on the first time, but this is looking a lot better. So although I'm not mad at how it looks by blending with my fingers, I'm a perfectionist and I really want to go in with my beauty blender. So I'm just gonna take that and see if I can push the product in. I don't think you have to do this, but I just want to see if that changes anything at all. But wow, I really like how this looks on camera. If you told me in 2018 that I would go on camera without concealer and feel like I look good, I would have said that you're a liar and I don't want to talk to you anymore. So I am going to go ahead and set my oilier areas. I'm not gonna do anything heavy. I'm not gonna like push the powder into my skin. I am just going to like dust some powder over it. The powder that I'm using today, it's also not a super mattifying powder by any means. It is the Milk Makeup Blur and Set Matte Loose Setting Powder. I know in the name it's called Matte Loose Setting Powder. Honestly, it's not incredibly mattifying. If you have tried, for example, like the Fenty Beauty setting powder, that is like really matte, and this one is like 3 clicks below that in terms of matteness. I tend to get oily like right above my eyebrows, so I'm gonna lightly set that as well. Okay, so this side of my face is set with the lightest amount of powder, and this side of my face is not. I think we still have that skin finish. Even though I did apply some powder, it still looks like my skin, which I really like. Okay, let's go ahead and set the other side. If I was going to wear this and I was in a rush, I would still set my face a little bit. So that's why I did it here. But as you guys can see, it does still look like skin. Also, I don't have any highlighter on, so like this that you're seeing is just from the skin tint. I'm gonna quickly go off camera, put on some lower lash mascara, pop on a little lip, and I will be right back. So I am back, and this is the look for today. I'm getting a lot of orange vibes, which was not on purpose. For my lips today, I popped on the Maybelline Color Sensational Lip Liner in the shade 118 Raw Chocolate. And on top of that, I used the Fenty Cream Gloss in the shade Honey Waffles. Amazing combination, especially if you are a similar skin tone to me. I'm definitely getting very natural vibes from this makeup, but I have to say, I like it. I think you can definitely see that around my mouth, my hyperpigmentation is coming through a little bit. Overall, I think it did do a good job of evening out my general skin tone. I feel, I guess, what's the word? Like confident enough in how my skin looks that I would go outside. Not that you have to wear makeup before going outside, but I hope you know what I'm saying. Like, I would go out like this and feel pretty good. So I just checked the time. It is currently 11:22. Yes, I will be checking in with you guys and showing you guys how the product has worn on my skin. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, with that, I guess I'll see you guys in my next check-in. I am back. It's only been like 5 minutes. I did change the lighting. I made it a little more warm because I was just taking pictures for the thumbnail of this video. Right now, this shade matches me perfectly. But if I were to wear this shade like maybe in the end of August, like at the end of summer when I am as dark as I get, this shade would not match me. That being said though, it is a perfect match right now. So if you are similar in skin tone to me, I think this shade could work for you as like fall, winter, spring shade. But in the summer, I don't think the shade would fly with my skin. That could also be because I don't have any color corrector on. Normally I would take more of an orange concealer. I forget what it's called. I know it's by Too Faced, but I forget the shade name, but I'll have it right here. Normally I take that concealer and I use it as a color corrector because that concealer is very orange in tone and it works really well for that. So maybe that's why I'm feeling like it wouldn't match me in the summer. If any of you guys also color correct, you probably understand what I'm saying. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that I don't think this shade would match me in the summer. But yes. Hi guys, I am back for my first check-in of the day. Right before I put my phone on my ring light, I checked the time and it was 1:45. So I've had the skin tint on for about 2 hours if my math is correct. I did change my lip because I ate some Timbits. If you're Canadian, what's up? You know Timbits are the best. So I took off the cream gloss and then right before hopping on camera, I put on the Colourpop, I was about to say the Colourpop Lux Lip Oil in the shade Bengal, because I think it's supposed to be like a Bengal tiger. But in my head, I think of like Bengali because I'm brown. When I just looked at myself in the mirror, I feel like I look exactly the same as I did 2 hours ago. Like in terms of my skin, I don't feel like I got oily at all. I'm not seeing any separation anywhere. I'm just in general really liking how it looks. Like I said earlier, I feel like when I'm on camera, I look more dewy than I actually am. But in person, like when I'm not in front of my ring light and I just like held a mirror to my face, I couldn't see like the shininess that you're seeing here. Like I didn't see any of that. So I think that is just because of my light. I'm not gonna knock any points for that. I think it looks really good. Yeah, I'll see you guys again in a little bit. Okay, so I am back for the last check-in of the day. Right before I hooked up my phone to my ring light, the time said Right before I connected my phone to my ring light and I checked the time, it was 3:45. I started the wear test around, I think, what was it, 11:20 something? So let's just say 11:30. 12:30, 1, 2, 3, 3:30, and then like 15 minutes. So let's just call it 4.5 hours I've had this skin tint on. This is what my face is looking like after 4.5 hours of wear. And listen, considering that this is a skin tint and not a foundation, like knowing that this is supposed to be more of a hydrating type of product, I love how this looks. As somebody with combination skin, I was really scared that the oils in my T-zone would like break apart the product. And while you can obviously see my oils are coming through a little bit, the product itself isn't breaking up. Like there's no separation or anything. The oils are kind of gracefully making their way out to the public. I don't see it fading anywhere. Even the areas that I didn't set, so like this whole cheek section, I don't see that it's faded. The term long wearing doesn't mean that your oils are not gonna come through or that you're not gonna look a little dewy at the end of the day. I think it just means that while you probably will look dewy at the end of the day, if you have oily combination skin, it's not gonna look bad. Like the makeup itself isn't broken up, like it looks even still. I hope that makes sense. If you've ever tried a bad foundation before, you know that sometimes at the end of the day, you'll look at your nose and you just see like your skin and you don't see the foundation at all. I'm not getting that from this skin tint and I think that's really good. Now that I've showed you guys what it looks like, I am going to touch it up and show you guys what that looks like, just to see if we can get it to look how it looked before my oils started coming through. Okay, so I have a tissue and why am I like, what's it called? When there's like a bull and you wave the flag and they like run at you. So I'm gonna go ahead and blot. Oh, interesting. So I blotted and there's not really anything on the tissue. Like you can kind of see in this area a little bit of color, but really nothing came off my face. So now I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me powder and look at how empty mine is. If I am wearing makeup and I'm going out in public, okay, I'm not leaving the house without this powder. This is like my ultimate touch-up powder. I love it so much. So I'm gonna take some of the powder and let's just start off in the forehead and see what happens. Let's take some more and just go around my nose because that's looking pretty oily, and a little bit right in this corner. And just like that, I feel like we're ready to go for another at least 2 hours. This looks identical to how I looked when I first applied the product at like 11:30 in the morning. It looks identical. I guess it's time to give you my final thoughts for today. So I guess a con of this would be if you have hyperpigmentation, it's not gonna cover it. But that's not really a con because it's a skin tint and it's not supposed to be full coverage. So basically, if you go into it expecting something full coverage, you're not gonna get it and you're gonna be disappointed. But just know that if you have really bad hyperpigmentation, it will still show through, but it's supposed to. So in that sense, I guess it's not really a con. I can't really think of any legit cons to this. I understand why some people might have said that it's overpriced because you can get tinted moisturizers like at the drugstore. I mean, Colourpop has one that's really, really good. I think in a way what you're paying for is, for one thing, the wider shade range. The shade range for these tinted moisturizers, I think, is the biggest shade range that I've ever seen. If you're like me and your skin tone is kind of in between medium and deep, I mean, according to makeup brands, I'm medium deep. That tells you all you need to know about makeup brands. Yeah, if you're like me and your skin tone is kind of an in-between skin tone that is often overlooked when other companies make this kind of product, I think this Fenty one is worth it if you can find a shade that works for you, and you can, because you guys saw how well that just disappeared into my hand, even though it looked like it was gonna be too light. But yeah, so my whole point of that little rant was, I think in a way you are paying for more accurate skin tones. Does that make sense? I think in some ways this product is kind of dangerous because if you're like me and you're kind of forgetful, you might forget that you're wearing makeup and then you're gonna go to sleep with makeup on and then you're gonna wake up with acne because you didn't wash your face. This skin tint is extremely lightweight. I have literally used moisturizers that feel heavier than this skin tint, so I really like how it feels on the skin. Like I said before, I'm not sure if this is exactly the right shade for me. I think it could be. I think the thing about products like this, when they have such a wide shade range, you probably have a couple different shades that can work for you. I think when I do wear bronzer and I have like blush on and everything like that, I think it will balance out really nicely and I think I could use the shade. However, I think if I use the next shade, which is 14, and if I use my concealer with it, then it will also balance out and both shades could work for me. So that's kind of my consensus regarding the shades. Just in terms of how it wears, like the product itself, how it wears on my skin, fabulous. I love it. I was actually just Snapchatting one of my friends. Her name is Mandy. Mandy, if you're watching this, what's up? But she has really oily skin and I was talking to her about the skin tint. She was like, oh, like how's it going? Because she knows that I'm wearing it today. And I sent her a bunch of snaps and I was like, I love it. I think you will love it. Just use some powder and you're good to go. So yeah, if I had to give this skin tint a grade, I would give it, I'm gonna say an A. I was gonna go to an A+, but I'm gonna leave it at an A because of the packaging. I think the packaging will get dirty really easily, but honestly, that is such a small price to pay for a product that works amazing. Like, just wipe down the bottle and you'll be good. But I do know some people get really irritated when it comes to that, so I did want to mention it. I'm gonna stop talking. I think clearly I am tired. It's been a long day. I hope this video was useful to you guys if you are thinking of purchasing the skin tint. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Tell me if you're thinking of buying it, if you bought it, have you worn it, what do you think? Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye!